Fantasy Island got a reboot, and it got a movie, and it's a horror movie. Because that's where we're at in today's society, is taking old properties that are good and then turning them into horror reboots for a modern generation that doesn't understand where these things came from, why they're not that good. Look, I really do have a soft spot for the original Fantasy Island. I think there's a lot of charm and interest in there. It's on the same spot as like The Love Boat for me, because it's just of an era that is perfect for the time it came out, and it wouldn't work today. Do I think there is a version of Fantasy Island that could be done in a different way today? I think you could do it. I think if you were to take up the campiness, have it a little more over the top, a little more crazy, kind of do it in the style of The Good Place, where your fantasy is just extremely campy and quirky, I think that could be a fun way to do it. But as it stands, horror, scary horror, whatever, it's not the way to do this. I think this kind of plot could have worked too if it was also a little bit more like Cabin in the Woods, where we know what's gonna happen, but it's played up as like a trope and it's kind of funnier that way. I think this series works better as a comedy, and I think this idea works better as a comedy. So for those of you who don't know what Fantasy Island is, here's the plot of the movie. 5 strangers all come together on an island run by Mr. Rourke, Michael Pena, we'll talk about that, and their fantasies come true. Their fantasies are weird, but they're believable fantasies, and I think there is something good that could be told in these fantasies, but we don't really see that played out that much for something that I think is interesting in their fantasies. There's the military guy, there's the party boys, there's the girl who wants revenge, and there's the girl who wants a second chance at a happy life. They're okay. The stories aren't that impressive or interesting, and they are very dumbed down for an audience like this, because I'll say it, horror audiences, they ain't bright. They like a simple scare with a simple plot because they don't... Okay, I'll change what I say there. Fans of this kind of storytelling, like your Blumhouse people, but I know Blumhouse can do some good stuff. I don't know what I'm saying now. The people that like Lucy Hale. People that think Lucy Hale's a good actress, people that think Happy Death Day is a creative movie, those kind of people, that's who this is targeted for. They're dumb, because they obviously don't get it. Quit trying to make Lucy Hale happen. The girl's had so many chances. She'll never be an A-lister. She'll forever be a C-lister. Let's just stop trying to push her into everything. There's a reason she's not getting better roles, and that's because she's not that fun to watch on screen. She's probably the best looking girl for that style of woman they're going for when they cast her. She's got the nice eyebrow, she's got the facial structure, she can rock some short hair. Like, I just don't find her interesting or compelling to watch on screen. Her acting is okay. I never thought she was great. And let's go to that. Michael Pena in this movie is Mr. Rourke. I think Ricardo Montalban has an energy that is very easy to do. What I mean by easy to do is you can do that kind of performance and have it work in any kind of scenario. It could be in the original Fantasy Island, it can be in this horror thing, it could be in anything, and that energy can, just exist in this world wherever the world is in terms of genre. He is so boring in this movie every time Michael Pena comes on screen, and I love the guy. I think he's a class act and he's so fun to watch. His hands are in his pockets, he's staring into just whoever he's talking to. There's no expression, no interest on him, no matter what is happening. It is so annoying, and I just cannot believe this is Mr. Rourke. Where's the fun energy? Where's everything I need to make this? And I get it, you want to do it hardcore, because that's today's audience. You can't get the audience of you can't get the Lucy Hale audience to watch Ricardo Montalban, is all I'm saying. It's just stupid, because you could easily do that and it would work fine. There's a good character that Michael Pena could play in there, but he's just so stiff and boring, and I did not have a good time watching it. I have mixed feelings about this movie, because I think a lot of the third act pays off a little more than it should for something like this. And I gotta give huge props to Portia Doubleday, because I really do like her. I think she is going to be the next big thing in terms of these kind of movies, but she'll also be the one to break through and do some mainstream stuff that a lot of people are gonna see. I love her in Mr. Robot. I liked her in this. I think she did a good job for what she was given, and she's the best actor in here. You can tell by watching it that she's the one who knew what to do with the material to make it feel realistic and have that camp to it, and I really like that. Michael Rooker was in here too. Whatever, like he didn't do anything or anything. There's one scene with him where, a little spoilers, there's this one quick scene where he's falling off a cliff with one of our bad guys. It's just like a quick shot and you see him dropping down really fast. It just looked so dumb. It was like maybe half a second on screen, but it just looked so bad. It just stood out to me because I was like, wow, that was really bad to look at. So there's that. And I'll say this first too. I talked about this when I talked about Lock and Key, and I talked about it when I was watching some other stuff. Why do you always have to turn down guys who are kind of nerdy and geeky? There's a whole idea in here about a guy who likes to, live action role play, and we just treat him like he's a dork and he's not that cool, and he can't get with a supermodel or anything. Stop. See what you did, Big Bang Theory? You ruin nerds. You really don't understand how to write a nerd. No self-aware person who's a geek references live action role playing when they're out in public. Okay? It's dumb. I really hate that trope. And this other thing that I hate, but it goes back to the Lucy Hale thing. Stop making everything about your high school problems in these kind of movies. There's nothing I hate more than people in their 20s or their 30s dwelling back on their time in high school and how the one person who picked on them is more successful than them, or they need to live up to them, or just something stupid like that. People are dicks in high school. They're all hormonal and edgy and have a need to rebel. Nobody knows who they are in high school. So you should just forgive everything that ever happened to you, no matter how severe. I'll take that stand right now. It could be something brutal. You have to let these people grow up. And yes, there are examples of people not growing up and stuff like this happens, but don't let that define who you are when you're 25 or 26. That's the whole premise of Lucy Hale's character. She becomes a sociopath because of events in high school and because she doesn't think any boys will love her. Are you fucking kidding me? What boy isn't gonna want to tap that? Like, it's just so bonkers to me that you're getting a beautiful girl like this who's so insecure about how she looks. That's not realistic. That's not realistic. And I know it's called Fantasy Island, but that's just stupid. I will say overall, it goes to horror tropes that we know and that we've come to expect. It doesn't do anything that original with the idea of Fantasy Island or going any place I like it. I think this premise can work if you made Mr. Rourke a little more quirky and fun and bubbly, and if it was a little more like Cabin in the Woods or A Good Place. I think there is a good story in here, but that's not what I saw. And I think it was just solid. Like, I don't have anything against it or for it. As far as reboots go, I'll give it a down as far as a potential sequel go. If it gets more campy, I'll give it a thumbs up. So that's my review of Fantasy Island. Go watch the original show. Go watch the original show, because if that happens and you go to this horror Fantasy Island, make your one fantasy to be Mr. Rourke in an actually good reboot of Fantasy Island, like I want to do. So I will catch you guys in the next video. Like and subscribe and check me out on Patreon. Thank you for watching, and stay thirsty. Don't know why I said that.